We have a big audience at NetSuite that knows who you are, but for the percentage that doesn't, can you give us a brief introduction to yourself?
I'm the founder of UnleashWD. We are a strategy, design, and innovation firm that helps legacy distributors become nimble and innovative leaders.
Before COVID-19, BC, as we're calling it, what percentage of the US GDP did wholesale distribution account for, and what does that equate to in dollars roughly?
Wholesale distribution is about a $6.9 trillion business. And if that were a country in and of itself, it would be the third largest economy in the world, behind the United States and behind China.
How has COVID-19 impacted this industry?
Well, I think it's impacted the industry in a lot of different ways. You know, as we look at the second quarter, right? Maybe GDP is going to take a 30% hit. It's never done that in history. When I talk to distributors, some are actually up, right? Some are actually up. But if you look at other businesses, they're down anywhere from 20 to, I've heard, 93% of the revenues are down.
I would love you to dive into some of those, tactical strategies distributors can take to shift to tomorrow.
This pandemic is going to change how we live, work, and play. But what does that mean to leaders? What it means is we need to improve our strategic foresight. So I want distributors to take that premise, put it up on the wall, and say, do we spend enough time thinking about the future? Do we spend enough time thinking about how the rules of the game are going to change after this? I believe my premise is this, is that purpose and meaning are going to become imperatives in terms of attracting customers and employees. Safety is going to become a driver, I believe. And that's part of this deeper meaning and purpose that goes just beyond pick, packing, and shipping some product off the shelf.
Yeah, I love that. Those are two big strategies. Any others you want to hit on?
I think digitization, you're either going to break away by the way, following your true north, your purpose, finding that, or you're going to be destroyed. This is the time to reinvent. And this is the time to take digital transformation, to heart. Are
there any specific technologies that you think are going to be critical for distributors moving forward?
I truly think it's going to depend on the value proposition of the organizations, but I absolutely do think that there are certain fundamental technologies, right? And I'm talking to NetSuite, and I believe in the need for an ERP platform, right? Of course, everybody's talking about remote working capabilities and the digitization of that. I think we're going to have a chance to rethink the sales organization, okay? And I really believe CRM systems are going to be a must-have rather than a nice-to-have. I think marketing automation is going to be a must-have rather than a nice-to-have. Over the last several years, I've led a couple think tanks on digital transformation, okay? Mm-hmm. And these distributors, wicked smart individuals, one of the words they used was runway. That yes, we need to be thinking about digital transformation. Then there was always a but we have some runway. Here's my belief of what COVID has done. I believe COVID has turned that runway into a drag strip.
Yeah.
And it's become, that runway is not there. And even if there's not another pandemic for another 10, 20, or 100 years, I truly believe the rules of business are being changed as we speak right now. And we do need to take a digital first mentality.
What about on the tactical side? What would you add there?
I think there's a 3-step success path that distributors need to be thinking about to strategically power ahead in these unprecedented times. And I think the first step of that success path is we need to clearly identify the new rules of how business is going to be done. And we need to spend time thinking with our team about the behaviors that have changed in our employees, the behaviors that have changed in our customers, the behaviors and thinking that have changed in our suppliers and the like. Can I tell you exactly every rule that's changing? I can't.
Right.
But I can lead you and your team to think through in your environment, in your segment, in your geography, with the relationships you have, what are the rules that are changing? We have to identify those as the first step. The second step of the success path is to energize and align your team around the profit opportunities. I heard a piece of data that blew my mind that says that 85% of your customers that leave you during this pandemic will never come back in the next 3 to 5 years. We have to align and energize our team around profit opportunities now. And then number 3, we've got to define our strategic sequence of moves to confidently power ahead. We just can't do it all. So we have to be strategic. We have to make some decisions. We have to be prepared to pivot and be able to internally communicate and tell a story to our team about why we're making these decisions so that we can get the entire team to embrace this strategic direction going forward.